sorry for my look. You know, I work pretty much all the time in front of the computer. You know, shaving is just a luxury, and my hair's a mess. I've got this hat on. You want to see how? Look at that. So, someone actually emailed me a really important question, and the guy's a pretty good friend of mine, and not everyone is as altruistic or idealistic as I am. I respect that, and he basically asked me what's in it for me for helping you out and contributing, because, you know, basically you are a for-profit company, right? Not a non-profit, and you're asking me for money. So if I'm going to give you money, shouldn't I get something in return? Well, that's a very important question, and let me answer that. There are 3 specific things that you're going to get in return for assisting us. Now, America's in a recession. If I am successful in creating a global contracting vehicle for contractors and federal contractors, and understand, I'm not interested in providing new opportunities to the integrators. The integrators being Lockheed, CACI, General Dynamics, General Electrics, Mantech. These are integrators. These are massive, billion-dollar companies that support our military-industrial complex. However, understand, there are small businesses which are known as subcontractors, contractors that do most of the heavy lifting for these guys. These guys don't have the staff on hand. Excuse me. These guys don't have the staff on hand to deal with every situation, right? Excuse me for coughing in your face. Yeah, I work for one of these such companies, and we do most of the heavy lifting. They're 8A, okay? They're women-owned. They're veteran-owned. There is minority-owned. There's HubZone and small business and disadvantage. There is literally over 4,000 of these companies. That's who we want to help, all right? We want to help the small American contracting businesses in opening up a whole new market for them. Do they have the money that CACI and Mantech to do it? No, right? They don't. So we're going to do it for them by uniting and getting them together, and we create basically an extension. We are going to be one family. Don't think of us as, we're using the federal contracting model with a twist. Our prime contractors we look at them as basically brothers and sisters of what we're doing. So they're not independent. We're not going to treat them like the Fed treats contractors. We're going to say, listen, we have a problem here. Let's work together to solve it, and we'll all benefit in the long run for doing it. So, secondly, the programs that we're launching are going to specifically aid what I call the Tier 2, Tier 3 communities survive. I live in a Tier 3 community. If you watch my videos, I live in a village with only 50 houses in it. I live near the coast. I live, I think, far enough in that I would have survived, but I don't know. I don't know what the reach would have been going down However, I love the small communities. I visit, I take pictures. If you look at my Flickr, I spend a lot of time in the small rural fishing villages and towns. I go to onsens, I travel, I go echizen. So I am passionate for these small communities, and the bottom line is they're not going to recover unless some external force, us, makes a difference. These communities are gone. Okay, they're gone. They're not going to come back, and that's not fair. That's not fair for someone who's spent generations and generations, and because their kids moved out and there's, they don't have, maybe they're elderly or whatever, they have to be disenfranchised. Why is that? That's not fair. They may have a small business. Most Japanese, I would say, I don't know what the statistic, but I'm guessing over 90% of Japan is family business owned. Probably more, probably 99% of Japan. Everything is small business. You have a barbershop, they're living above it. You have a grocery store, they're living above it or next to it. Every business in Japan, practically, that I know, that I go to, is not some conglomerate. It's not some big, right? They're family owned. For them to rebuild their business, the inventory, to build their house, to get their cars back, and everything else on $30,000, that's what the government's giving them, is just ridiculous. They're not going to do it. and no one's going to support them. So it's important for us to make a difference and to be that external force, that hammer that's going to rebuild them. And it's unsustainable for me to try to raise the money. Okay? It's unsustainable to say, listen, I need to raise $100 million to help these communities. You look at me and laugh. But you know what? I could sell $100 million of contractor services and solutions. Do you think Japan has a problem with money? No, they're printing money. Basically they're the second wealthiest country in the world, or third, or they're up in the top 5. And money is not the issue. Can I say, listen, can I speed up your recovery in your community by 1,000% because basically you don't have the manpower to deal with it? You still have 150,000 people in shelters. Why? Why? I could bring federal contractors and we could build communities for these people immediately. In a month, we could have them at least independent, out of shelters, near their communities, and getting them back on their feet. Maybe they were not. Then maybe they're pre-housing, places. But money is not an issue. If money is not an issue, then we can provide solutions. Money is not an issue for Japan, and we have the federal contractors that can do pretty much anything. We build pretty much towns in Iraq, Afghanistan. We run, we at one point we're doing the logistics of over 300,000 military and civilian contractors in the Middle East. 300,000. That's pretty amazing. It was contractors that did it. It wasn't Halliburton doing it. Halliburton was just the prime. It was people working, small businesses bringing on, oh, we need this done. Can you do that? Yeah. And they do it. All right. It's the 4,000 plus federal contractors do it. And finally, all right, what is it for me? This is the answer to those of you who say, you know what, Michael? I see it. Right? And I want something back. Well, here's your chance. Imagine if you had the opportunity to help launch Microsoft or Google or Facebook. Imagine if I'm coming to you right now as Bill Gates or anyone else saying, listen, I've got this idea, but I'm just a little guy and I don't know anyone in Silicon Valley. I'm not connected to the blue bloods in England. I'm just a little guy with a vision. I've got a team. Look at my team. I've got people on board. I've got contractors to do the work. I've got everything in place, but I just need a little money to launch. And you're like, Mike, I get it. This is what I offer you. Imagine if you could, the moment Microsoft launched and got their first customer, which I think back then was IBM, that we released 50 million shares, 10 million shares, I don't know. And we say, listen, we have 50 million shares, they're a penny a share, how many do you want? We have a customer. Now, we're not going to go to seed investors first or anything else. We're going to go to our contributors and say, listen, thank you for helping us launch. Thank you for putting that $25 in. Thank you for, crowdsourcing this, right? There are 3 things that I need for you to participate that I will basically, if we are successful, if we can land our first client, we will be an employee-owned, privately held corporation, and we will issue shares. And we will make those shares available to anyone that has done this. 1, made a contribution. 2, I can't remember what the 3 were. I'm just joking. Made a contribution. 2, crowdsource what we're doing with their friends and family or whatever, with their community. If you've got 2,000 Facebook friends, spend 1 month saying, help this fool. That would be me. All right? Help him. This guy has a plan. This guy can make a difference. Right? And and he can help America, he can help Japan, and not only that, if he's right, he can help you. Because, if you'll do these 3 things too, and the third thing, endorse us. Go to LinkedIn and write an endorsement on HelpJapanco. In LinkedIn, go up, type Help J. You'll see connection and company. Click on connection, HelpJapanco, and you're going to see founder Michael Trout. Click on and say, listen, I've contributed. I've shared, and if your name is there, right, and you basically commit to doing those 3 things, and we got 50 days to launch, and I've raised 50,000, I'd like to at least get our grassroots campaign, at least at 10 or 20%, you know, I'm raising the money through now our partners and our prime partners. And I'm looking at basically channel partners to help get the message out there. But there's a huge opportunity on the grassroots level, on the individual, on the crowdsourcing, crowdfunding. We can't crowdfund this for equity. It's illegal. Okay? Also, if I wanted to crowdfund this for equity, I'd have to deal with attorneys and pay money to all these fuckers. I don't want to pay money to attorneys. Do you want to pay money to attorneys? No, I don't. So, no, why even go there, right? So, we keep it simple. A FoundUp is a system for launching. This is our prototype. I'm actually using the Open Incubator Framework for you who are basically watching me, because a lot of people are watching me to steal what I'm doing. Good luck. I mean, I have a system that I've developed over 16 years, and I'm applying it. So if you can figure out what I'm doing and how the steps of what I'm doing, great. It'd be better for you to actually call me up and say, hey, Mike, I want you on my team. Hire me as a consultant, and I will teach you how to launch a business. And basically, what I'm doing is in 80 days, right? Launch a business in 80 days, raise $100,000, get a product in place, and then become a startup. Becoming a startup off the bat is dumb. All right, 99% of startups fail. So I hope this talk has opened your eyes to what's in it for you. What's in it for you? If you do those three things, what are the three things again? It is 1, make a contribution. 2, crowdsource it for at least a month. All right, at least till the end of this campaign. It's 50 days, once a day for 1 minute, whatever. Say, hey, did you invest in this fool? Did you invest in HelpJapanco? Help Japanco. Because by helping Japanco, you're helping America. And number 3, write an endorsement. Write a recommendation. Tell your friends. You know, it's simple. This is called crowdsourcing. It's how we can leverage and launch businesses that are going to make this world a better place. Social ventures are important. And I've done talks about social ventures and nonprofits, and I've got a shit ton of talks. So if you're bored, go to, my main page is eduit.org, EDUITORG. And, I've got a number of projects that I'm going to be launching, and this is just the first one. And each one, I believe, is going to help this world become a better place. Because I'm sick and tired of, watching other people, and I'm talking about Google, I'm talking about Microsoft, I'm talking about all Cisco and all these big corporations that over the last, basically, 5 years, I've been trying to get them to listen to me and launch programs that would help improve humanity. Programs like autonomous learning, programs that will turn any smart device into being a school and a teacher for those that don't have access, to the homeschoolers and everything else. And they haven't done it. So I'm going to do it myself. FoundUps is a system for helping launch ideas. I've got a lot of ideas, and now I have a system to launch them. And your support's important. Try this out. Help us out. You're not going to regret it.